Splatoon 3 is ruining the gaming industry, but looking at the company behind it, this should come as a surprise to absolutely nobody. You know, Nintendo were always going to be in trouble as they continued to rely on old-ass, antiquated franchises to try to prop themselves up into relevancy in the year 2021. I mean, Zelda's worn out. They had to completely flip the script on the gameplay and turn it open world. Mario deserves to retire in peace, and instead they're still sticking him in cars and forcing him to drive, demanding that he swing golf clubs and tennis rackets so they can continue to pump out third-rate games that nobody cares about. And of course, that overhyped franchise Super Smash Bros. Is still going strong by dumping in every character from every game ever because they believe in the quantity over quality approach. Well, it all came to a head when Nintendo realized they didn't have jack shit for shooters, and shooters are the most dominant genre in the world. So what do? They take their kid-friendly, cartoony-ass approach. They put in people who have tentacles, known as Inklings, right? So Daddy must have gotten frisky with his squid, and out popped this little fucking Inkling 9 months later, and thus Splatoon was born. This game is not only an insult to the shooter genre, but it's an insult to anybody who's played a shooter in the last 20 years. First off, why are we shooting the ground with paint? Why are we shooting the ground with paint? What the fuck is this, Nintendo? This is the most egregious and offensive game that I have ever played, and the fact that we're about to get a threequel just goes to show that Nintendo does not know when to abandon a failing franchise. I mean, the alarm bells and the red warning signs have been flashing for the last 2 years. Splatoon 2 was a commercial failure and a catastrophic failure upon release, with both the fan base and those who actually took the time out of their day to review that shitty-ass product. And yet here we are. A few short years later, we're getting a threequel, a game that nobody asked for, a game that nobody's going to play. Nintendo can't even get multiplayer right. All right, they time their multiplayer maps, meaning if you want to play a certain mode or map, you have to log on at a certain time. What is this, 1985? Are we playing the game via mail? This is the internet, Nintendo. People have jobs, people are in different time zones, people are on different continents. If I want to play fucking Salmon Run on Tuesday at 8 p.m. after work because I've had a stressful day, you should let me do that. You should not restrict it to a certain time. But Nintendo know how to do one thing. They make things more complicated than necessary, and they continue to fuck over the consumer by releasing horrible rehashes of games that came out 15 years ago and charging you egregious new game pricing for it. I mean, this is a company that's just now getting around to doing N64 on their online service. Splatoon's been a joke since day one, and I refuse to believe that anybody plays this game unironically. I go to the streamers on Twitch, and I chat with them once they're playing Splatoon, asking for strategies and asking them how long they've been playing, and they kick back and laugh and they say, dude, I don't play this fucking game for real. Some kid stole his mom's credit card, they tipped me $100, and this is what they wanted me to play, so I'm playing it for an hour, and then it's going to go back on the shelf, back to collecting dust where it was for the last 2 years. They even had the audacity to try to put a single-player campaign in these games, which literally is the funniest thing that you'll see all year. Nintendo trying to actually design a shooter campaign. This is the worst game I've ever played, and if you care about the gaming industry, you need to not buy Splatoon 3. You need to put your money in the pockets of developers who've actually earned it. You need to put your money towards studios who actually innovate, and they're not just looking to make a quick buck by jumping onto the most recent trend. I guarantee you Splatoon 3 will have a battle royale mode. Nintendo's nothing if not always late to the party, and they tend to adopt the trends in the worst way possible. See Exhibit A and B, Splatoon 1 and 2. Like, seriously, Call of Duty has esports, Halo has esports, Battlefield has esports, PUBG has esports. Where's the fucking competition? Where's the competitive scene surrounding Splatoon? Oh yeah, there is none, because nobody gives a shit about these little inklings trying to coat the ground with their color. This brightly lit neon fucking facade of a game is a shell, a cover for what is at its core a bare bones, basic ass game that nobody cares about. All right, I want to see different colors of gray and brown. I want to see gritty, realistic military action, not these fucking octopuses spraying the ground with spray paint. Who the fuck asked for this, and what were the execs smoking when they decided to greenlight this pile of dilapidated dog shit? I'd sure like to know who to hold accountable for the worst game series I've ever seen.